I'ma make it burn.
I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set
What it
your
do?
place
It's your
on
boy
fire.
Sincere B, and welcome to season 2 of Chewing the Fat. This is episode 23, George Floyd. But before we get to that, our sponsor of the week, and say what's up to the rest of the crew, King Kelso, Safa Brit. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, B? Everything is everything, man.
Oh man. Well, it's bloody good weather here, I have to say. How's the weather done by you?
For me, it's raining today. Raining today, it look cool, but the
We,
rain
we,
might be a good thing. So
we,
it's raining.
we're getting
That's raining here
sunshine
too.
after sunshine after sunshine and after sunshine. That's all
Nobody
we get.
cares.
You said rain by you too, Kelso?
Yeah, it's raining, man. It started raining.
Is it thunder and lightning over there?
Nah, it's just raining right
Damn,
now.
man. A couple of nights ago, it was thunder in here, and we were so happy.
Why?
We don't
Cause
thunder here. It doesn't lightning here hardly ever. So we from Texas. We missed that part of the weather, that thunder and that
okay,
lightning, and the smell of that rain.
you
Here,
missed it.
you don't have it like that
It
here.
just it just rained.
It just rains.
Miserable.
So when the thunder's here, everybody here who's from here running from the windows, we going to the windows.
Yeah.
So, but it's pretty nice weather. I mean, it's raining, but it's not hot, and it's not too cold. It's kind of all right.
Yeah.
Kind of like these kind of days in a way.
Yeah. But it's always nice up there, though.
Yeah. All right, Safa, what's the sponsor of the week?
Sponsor of the week this week is Know Your Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
So Coca-Cola, believe it or not, came out of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's a brand that's recognized on a global scale, except, now I got a shock when I read this. Well, not when I read it, but I didn't know there was an except. I thought Coca-Cola was worldwide, but unfortunately it isn't. So except in North Korea and Cuba. You telling me they do no Coke in Cuba? Well, they probably do a
Well,
different type
I
of
thought it
Coke,
was.
but yeah. I don't know.
they got real Coke in their
They
Coke.
got real Coke, yeah. Probably a lot more fun than this Coke.
The original Coke.
So, now get this. White Coke was invented for a Russian general. Grigory Zhukov, after receiving a bottle of Coca-Cola from General Eisenhower, he loved it so much, he asked Coca-Cola to make a clear version so he could disguise drinking the American product. How weird is that shit?
Yeah, that's
Now,
weird.
cola is named after cola. Sorry, cola with a C, named after cola with a K. The cola with a K nut originated in Africa, and it is loaded with caffeine. So supposedly, this is used in the guarded secret formula for the cola nut was originally the caffeine source and inspired the word cola. You didn't know that?
Nope. Had no fucking idea.
There we go. Look at that. Even the
Tell me
Russians
why.
love Coke.
Tell me why the Mexican Coke tastes better.
Because they probably use sugar cane.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. Because in SA, we all of our sugar is from sugarcane, and Coke down there tastes fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course in the UK here we use barley, and yeah, it was definitely a different taste. But after what 17 years, you kind of get used to it. Not in the beginning, no. I was like, oh my god, what is this? What have they done to Coke? No, it was took me a while to get used to it.
Okay. That's interesting because I remember Pepsi did make a clear Pepsi.
That
Remember
shit
that?
was horrible
Okay.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, they made clear Pepsi. It didn't work out too well.
Uh,
All right, man. We appreciate that, man. Sponsor of the week. All right, so today we're talking about what's going on right now with the George Floyd. Even though coronavirus is still out there, still killing people, this has taken over the airwaves. And the video, I still have not watched the whole video, man. I can't watch it. I can't make it through the whole video.
yeah, it's,
I
it's
got
a
pretty
hard
far. I
watch.
got to the part where he was calling out his mom. Right
Yeah.
there, I can't go past that. So, My wife watched it. She told me what happened after that. It's pretty sad. So now
Yeah, I
we're in
watched
a
it.
section now. We are here having protesting, which needed to be done, but the protests have turned very, very bad in so many
Mhm.
cities. So today we'll be discussing that. Um,
Let's
Safa,
go.
Did you get a chance to catch up on that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
All
I
right,
did.
all right.
They're protesting in the UK too, though, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Safa, do you go outside at all?
I don't know what
No, I
Safa be
don't
doing,
actually.
man. I don't know what
Well,
Safa does,
no,
though.
I'm in the middle of nowhere here in the UK, so
Oh, okay.
I'll be surprised. If, I mean, the birds chirp and that's about it. But
Yeah, that's
no,
it.
I didn't know that they were. Well, oh, they were protesting here as well.
Yeah.
Safa,
UK,
Safa,
Germany, Canada,
Safa don't watch the
everywhere.
news.
Don't sound like. I'm not gonna be playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, he just game all day. That's all he does.
Oh, okay. So thousands have been taken to the streets here, chanting, "I can't breathe."
Oh my God.
Can you believe this? In the middle of a pandemic, they seem to find the time to do that. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm really
it's
gobsmacked.
important, man. That's why it's more important than the pandemic. Pandemic
Yeah,
just
you
got here
watch
three
that
months
video.
ago. This been going on for 100 some years.
You watch that video. It'll give you some better understanding.
Oh no, I've seen it. I've seen it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's absolutely horrific, and from what I've seen as well is that um, the cop that was had his knee on George's neck
Hmm.
has been charged with third degree murder and manslaughter.
Yeah, that's
Now,
bullshit.
now I don't know.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I think one can argue that that should be perhaps first degree murder, right?
Hmm.
But what kind of I've been trying to check this out. But what kind of sentencing does a third degree and manslaughter
It can go
carry?
from to all the way to parole. It can drop down to
Hmm.
parole.
Probation.
So
I mean,
so he
probation. I mean,
doesn't.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
he may not do any time, is what we're saying here.
it
it's
could get.
conceivable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
but
Well,
I thought they said today that they changed the second degree.
Did they did they increase it?
I thought I heard today they did. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they
Yeah.
did change the second, which still think it should be first. But first
Yeah,
is
because you got
premeditated.
to think about it like this. Anytime they charge, all right, 9 times out of 10 they go high
Yeah,
because it's like bargaining, right? You go high, we go back and forth a little bit, we negotiate, then you either land somewhere in the middle or around the lower end of the sentencing guidelines.
yeah.
All right. So when you start with third degree and you're already telling me I can already be eligible just for probation, yeah, you're already fucked up. You know what I mean? Because there's no bargaining. So basically you're saying, okay, you can get a few years in jail or you can be on probation right off the bat without even no negotiation, no talking with the family. Hey, we don't have to go to trial because he said he'll do 10 years or 15 years. You cool with that? Yes or no? But if you're already starting low, there's nowhere to go. Where are you gonna go to the family and tell them, hey, he's willing to do 15 years of probation? Man, they're not. Nobody's gonna have that shit.
Yeah.
You
okay.
know?
So I've got an update here. It says if convicted of third degree murder and second degree manslaughter, uh, is it Chalvin? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay. Would face up to 25 years in prison on the first charge and up to 10 years on the second. So he's looking
Mm.
what, 35 years
Now that shit probably run
if
concurrent.
if if convicted?
Uh,
Yeah.
I mean,
But
okay. So
it,
let's
it,
say
tell,
that's a
it,
run concurrent. Then
it don't tell you the whole story
minimum.
though. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
It'll tell you the minimum though you can get too.
yeah.
But even if he had 6 months in prison, let's be honest. How long is he going to last in prison?
Depends on where they
Do you
put
think?
him.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Where they put him,
I
Yeah.
that
don't know.
depends.
Well, he's an ex-cop, so there's that, and the fact that he did what he did. I don't think he stands a chance at all in prison.
It's gonna be hard. He's gonna spend a lot of time in protective custody.
Yeah.
Either way it go. Because the fact is that he's a cop.
Then I can put him anywhere.
Nah, that's man. He'll be in a special unit. Cops, pedophiles, rapists, all them cats be together.
Yeah.
Because the
So
inmate got that code. It don't make a difference if the inmate hate black people. They hate cops more than they hate black people. So his ass gonna be done.
And child rapists as well, I guess,
Yeah,
don't stand
yeah.
a chance either.
So it's
So,
like
yeah.
the biggest issue, man, the slap in the face for me, just knowing how the system works, is to charge him with such a low offense. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I charge you with this low offense, man, what are we gonna bargain down to a fucking citation? You're gonna write this motherfucker a ticket?
yeah, and
You know what I mean?
another issue that a lot of people are having with is that in the same city they arrested and gave a murder charge of third-degree murder to Muhammad Noor, who was found guilty for shooting a white woman in the dark. So what
Oh
happened
yeah,
was
yeah.
he got called, him and his partner got called in by alleged rape attempt. They show up at this woman's house. It's dark. I think it's at night.
Mm-hmm.
And they split up. They hear some noise in the back. They split up. As he coming around, his partner says, "Oh Jesus!" He think his partner's in trouble, and it's dark. He come around the corner and he just shoots. He shot the woman, killed the white woman. They arrested him right away and convicted him of manslaughter and gave him like 25 years. And he's a
Mm-hmm.
black African American Somalian cat. And now they're saying, well, wait a minute. Now this guy actually the guy had a knee on his throat. It was three other guys. Well, two other guys had also had the knee on them too, and one
Mm-hmm.
cop standing there. First of all four should have been arrested already, and then
Right,
the first one that just got arrested should have been arrested the day of, or at least the day
right.
after. And I think if that would have happened, the first probably protest may not have happened.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
not gonna stop until all the
I
motherfuckers
don't
in jail.
know. I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
don't know. I think there's an element within that protest that just I think is taking advantage of this and turning it angry and violent. And I
Well, it
think,
is. We already know that. They already announced
yeah,
that. They said there's an They're trying to find out what organization it is. They are using the dark web to communicate, and they're saying they believe that what these guys are doing is they are going running ahead of the protesters, breaking windows, starting fires, running back to where the protesters are at, getting behind the protesters, and use
Mm-hmm.
the protesters as shields. And when they get up to the part where everything is broken up, they kind of jump in and join in and jump in because it's already done. So they kind of
Yeah.
jump in and go and do that. Now I watched CNN like all day yesterday. I watched it the whole day, and there was some incidents where they had the cameraman out there with the camera and the news reporter, and he talked to one of the guys there, and a white guy, kind of buffy guy, had a headgear on, a mask and everything, was breaking windows, and the black guy had a blunt in his hand, like, "Hey,
Oh
are
yeah,
you are you undercover cop? Are you
yeah,
undercover cop?" And the guy wouldn't answer him. And the guy kept trying to get away. And the dude said, "Hold my blunt." And he was going to whip his
yeah,
ass, you know. But the white
yeah.
guy never answered him and kept on running. He's like, "You undercover cop?" It was
Yeah,
crazy shit, man.
it's a group of them going around doing that bullshit
Yeah,
and trying to make it look like it's the peaceful people that are doing the bullshit.
yeah. And don't get it twisted, black people. We not clear and free. 'Cause I just
Oh
watched in
yeah,
Philadelphia right now live. People going in and out of the store with just loot after loot after loot after loot, man.
yeah.
Yo, we got to stop
What?
that, man.
Yeah. Well, this the whole thing. It's going to be people that take advantage,
Yeah.
right? But the thing that upsets me is more people want to focus on the looting
Mm-hmm.
versus why we even here.
Yep.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Me
that's yeah.
personally, I don't give a fuck about a building or a car, no, in an animated object when this guy lost his life. The buildings, fuck Target. That shit can be rebuilt. All that shit can be rebuilt. Cars can be replaced. But Big Floyd's still dead. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's the shit that pisses me off. You know, I know the rioting and looting and arson, all that shit is bad. It's horrible. It's uncalled for. But me watching this guy get murdered 8 minutes straight, this motherfucker ain't even attempting to stop what he's doing. Looked like he was applying more pressure every time Floyd moved. Then he put his hands in his pocket. Man, to me, that trumps anything that you could tell me about burning the building, busting windows out. I could give zero fucks about any of that.
Yeah.
Because that man lost his life. You know what I mean? So for me, when people continuously try to bring that part into it, nah, you're trying to gloss over the fact that this was murder I just watched. You know what I mean? And for me, it's difficult because I've seen a lot of shit, bro. I've seen from 6 months old to 60-year-old people dead from fires. I've seen motherfuckers get shot in the head, stuffed in trunks, ran over, set on fire. I've seen kids left at home alone while their mom and boyfriend at Walmart at Taco Real Ronda's eating. And these kids dead. I mean, I've seen all kinds of horrific shit. But the most horrifying thing I ever witnessed was watching that man get murdered.
Yeah, man. I couldn't even watch the whole video, man. I got up
Yeah.
to the part where she called his mama. I gotta stop. I can't go no further.
Yeah.
I couldn't do
And
it.
his mama been dead.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm not saying that riding is the way to go. But man, it's real simple. If I keep telling you, B, leave me alone, dude. I ain't with it. And you keep fucking with it. At some point, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Just because you push me to the point where I can't take it no more. You know what I mean? It's like we keep begging these people, bro, just leave me alone. If you pull me over for a legitimate reason. You don't have to put your hands on me. If I'm not acting up, if I show you my hands, why are you still screaming, show me your hands when I got my hands above my head? And then why the first thing you got to do is shoot me? You got a taser. You got all these other means of pepper spray, but you seem to always grab your gun first. You know what I mean? That's the shit it's infuriating. Man. It's like, because I worked with scary ass police before.
Now,
You know
now,
what I mean?
before we go further, now, do you think a lot of these cops are really scared, or you think some of these cops just have a means to want to kill a person
Nah,
and to see
they're
how it
scared.
feels, but
Nah.
they know they might get away with it being a cop?
Nah, them motherfuckers ain't that smart. And they're definitely not that calculated. It take a tough motherfucker to knowingly and willfully take another person's life. Right? But these motherfuckers are so terrified. And for the most part, not all of them. Like the shit that I just watched with Big Floyd, that motherfucker looked like a murderer. His whole actions had the demeanor of somebody who could give zero fucks about another person's
Like he
life.
wanted to take a life.
Right. Now, this is different. That's why it's so traumatic for me. Like these other folks, they're in my opinion, they're afraid. You know what I mean? Like I said, I work with dudes that are afraid like that. They get terrified when they talk to black dudes. The darker the skin, the more afraid they are. You know what I mean? Because it's like the further away from who they are.
Yeah, and see,
That bothers.
the cop that had his knee on on George's neck worked at the same club he did as security guards.
Yeah,
The female
I read
owner
that.
of that bar told the news that he has always been afraid of black men.
yeah.
He said he talked to her about it before. He was always terrified of black men for some reason. He said he encountered Hispanic people with no problem, but when it came to black men, he always had an issue with that.
Huh.
And
You know,
and
for
and they
me,
worked the
it's
same
just,
place and may have crossed each other paths a couple of times.
no.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's hard to say whether or not they even knew each other. You
Yeah.
know?
well, the restaurant ain't that big. For what I understand, their shifts did overlap. So they may not be in buddies, but if I'm working at a job and this big
I,
6'5" black guy works at the door with me,
yeah,
I may
yeah,
not talk to him, but I'm gonna know him on sight. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. You're gonna know of him. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
See, that's
That's
another
another one.
weird part
like an
about it.
acquaintance or something.
Yeah, that's a weird part right there. That's a real moment right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like, what's
I
going on with that?
yeah, wouldn't that cop want to actually find out from him, like, why the hell, you know?
Right.
Because I
Exactly,
think,
man. What
I
are you
think,
doing though? Yeah, yeah,
yeah, exactly. You know, obviously, you know, there's some familiarity. Surely he would want to have known, like, you know, we're here because he used a fake note. I think it was, wasn't it? He used a fake $20 note or something like
yeah.
that.
That's what they're saying.
And
Fake $20 bill.
you know, so I don't know if he was the first on the scene. We don't know whether, you know, whether or not George, you know, tried to put up a fight or whatever. I
No, we
don't
do
think he
know. We
did.
had
I
the
mean,
video.
yeah,
Yeah, they got video of that.
of the whole thing
The
from
whole
beginning
thing
to
Yeah,
end.
of different views.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
They
all
put
right.
out one today that it shows some type of commotion going on. But the problem that I have with it is that Floyd was already in the car.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
okay.
It wasn't like they were struggling with him to get him in the car. So to me, you've done the hard part. You got him in the vehicle.
Yeah.
What is the struggle? I mean, close the doors, and if he kick out the windows, he kick out the window. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you got the divider. That he can't open the door because you can't open from the inside. If you got him in there, leave him the fuck alone.
See,
If he
that's
in there having a fit,
mhm.
you gonna have a fit inside the car. You can't grab my gun from in the car. You can't hurt nobody other than yourself if you're already in the back seat.
See, that's the weird part. When they showed that view and he had him in the car already, how he get from in the back seat to on the side of the car with a knee in his damn throat?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Right.
You took
Yeah.
him all the
Remember?
way out, brought him all the way against the wall, all the way around, with no shirt. His shirt was off and everything. When his shirt off too?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
His shirt came off. Where did his shirt come off at? How did he get on that side of the car? You took him literally all around the whole car
Right.
after having him in the back seat already.
Huh? Yeah,
That's
that's
Now,
just
crazy.
crazy.
that would be interesting to know what happened there.
Yeah.
And you can't see because the door is blocking it. You can see him in there just, I don't know. You don't know if he's struggling or they're punching him or something. You don't know what's going on there in that video.
Yeah. Because my whole thing, if you have him in the car, that's the end of it.
Yeah,
That's nothing else for us to deal with. Bro, I got you in the car. Close the door. We sit inside. Especially if I know you. I'm going to close the door. We're going to talk. Because it ain't nothing but a fucking fake $20 bill.
But
Ain't
do
no
you
need
see
to.
it? But do you
Hmm?
see in the video him getting out, getting taken out the car?
Yeah, they have one where he's getting taken out the car and he's getting out the car peacefully.
yeah, and they sit him
And then
Okay.
they
against the
sit him
wall.
down.
Yeah, against the,
Yeah.
the store wall, the door, the wall right there.
Yeah.
Then he pick him up. He gets up, no
Yeah.
problem. They had to help
And
him up, of
here's,
course, because his hands behind his back.
here's the issue. This is over a fake $20 bill.
I know.
You know what I mean?
That I'm
There's
hearing,
no
that
need
I'm
for me
hearing
to
that he
put,
didn't even do.
yeah, there's no need for me to put my hands on you. There's no cause for me to do anything like that. Man. It's just let's talk about it. So like I say, if you know each other, man, Floyd, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mm.
this is
Or,
a such and such
or
misdemeanor.
yeah, or don't you work at so and so? Hey, I mean, I
Yeah,
work there too. Like, what happened here, dude? You know,
yeah,
yeah.
and then they interviewed the store owner, the one who called the cop on him, told the police, "I never saw him struggle."
yeah,
This the guy who called the cops on him.
yeah. You know what I mean? And then what people, the anger that people have right now, we see a guy go to a black church, sit down in the damn pews, praying with these folks, get up and massacre motherfuckers. The police go get this son of a bitch and take him to goddamn Burger King before they take him to the police station. He ain't beat up. He ain't fucked up. Nothing.
Yep, that's crazy. So
Yeah.
now, with all this going on, all the riot and looting, we don't want to just talk about the negative stuff because we can do that all day because there's a lot of negative
Yeah.
stuff happening. We want to kind of get into some more other positive stuff too. Um, the good thing about this that we do need to separate the people who are there to cause destruction versus the people who actually there to protest.
Yeah.
Now, it was some places where they were protesting that, and what they was doing is that when they see somebody that was tagging a building, the protesters would go after them and make them stop tagging. So those things was happening all the time. There also was the
Mm.
incidents where a cop got separated from his squad. He was getting hit. Four guys grabbed him, dragged him to the side, and surrounded him, and protected the cop from the crowd. That wasn't
Oh yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah.
That should have been
You
mentioned
know.
a lot more. That
Yeah.
happened. Um,
Yes.
we always talk about cats carrying AR-15s and stuff like that. They don't get in trouble. Well, same thing happened, but this time it was two white guys and two black guys together, both
Mm.
having AR-15s, blocking people and rioters from the stores.
Yeah.
That was dope to see too. It
Yeah.
was a mixture of races. Another thing that even though the protest was going on, the protest had all kind of people, and that did make me feel a little bit better about the future because there's a lot of young people, white, black, Asian, brown, gays, straight, whoever in this
Yeah.
crowd, people protesting for this black man, and I think that was great to see. And that gives you a
Yeah. I think.
little more confidence about the future because it seems they all gonna
Yeah.
be pretty young.
Yeah. Because I think what I'm seeing now is that people are getting hip as to who's actually doing all this damage of property.
Yeah,
So they're starting to police themselves. I've seen several videos where guys like, look, man, we're glad you're out here, but we don't need you doing this. And people videotaping. I seen two white chicks go spray paint a building with Black Lives Matter. And a
hmm
chick told her, like, what are you doing? We're not here for that. You're not even black. So why are you even doing that?
yeah,
So I think as the time goes on, the the the, the protests are going to be more peaceful because they're starting to police themselves. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They see, like, most of them, 80% of the people that get arrested are not even from these particular towns or these cities. It's like you coming from goddamn San Antonio to Minneapolis starting some shit because you can go back home.
yep,
You know what I mean? So I think it's all going to get sorted out. It's going to be a lot more peaceful protests. But
yeah,
like for me, I just want people to stay focused on why we're here.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, a lot of these places are getting tore down, mom and pop stores. I don't know how they're gonna
Yeah,
come back. We need to make sure that shit things don't happen in the hood because we don't have cars. A lot of them don't have transportation to go out of town to go to stores to get groceries for our elders and our family. So we gotta make sure those stores don't get burnt down and get tore up because a lot of times they're not gonna be able to come back like them big stores can. So think about that.
yeah,
This
yeah.
this your hood, and other people come in your hood,
Yeah.
tearing your hood up.
You saw that? You saw that video with Killer Mike talks about it?
No, I ain't see that.
All right, it's awesome. Because
I
Killer
gotta see
Mike,
that.
he don't fuck around. He's a real smart guy, But man, it's very powerful, and it makes sense. It's like, man, we can't burn our own stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
can't.
If we burn our own stuff, we ain't gonna have nothing.
Don't have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another good thing that I saw people I thought that has a lot of guts are the people that were out there with the megaphones trying
Hmm.
to tell people to go home. I just
Yeah.
thought people
Yeah.
got mad guts, man, because I mean the crowd could easily turn on them, but they kept it going. They kept going. The crowd trying to keep everybody safe, and shout goes out to those people who's out there with the megaphones trying to
Yeah.
get people to go home and be safe and yeah, this shout goes out to them. While watching CNN report, the black CNN reporter got arrested
Yeah.
live on camera after he showed his
Yeah.
credentials and everything. This was in Minneapolis, same place where it happened with George Floyd.
Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy. And the crazy part about that is that a couple blocks down, his counterpartner for CNN, who was white, had the
Didn't get
same
nothing.
issue. They
Yeah.
put cops came to him. He showed them his credentials, same as the black newscaster did. They verified it right there, and no problems. But for him, they arrested him, his cameraman, and his producer.
Yeah.
Put him in a van for 30 minutes, drove him to the precinct, and the precinct another 30, 40 minutes before they finally recognized who he was, and the mayor had to call and get him released. So That's just a coincidence that happened like that? I don't think so. I think it's just a good way of showing shit is real, man.
Yeah,
Shit is real.
I think the Huffington Post they had a black reporter get arrested too.
That's it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And I watched it live. I was happening. I couldn't believe that it was happening in the same city while the protests going on for the same issue.
Yeah, and
Like,
the guy was
man,
more than cooperative.
yeah. He
You
like, this is
know?
my ID. We're live right now. You can go look at
Yeah,
it. It's a big ass camera on the dude's shoulder. You
right.
know that shit cost like $25,000 camera.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
And out of the group, he was the only one that I saw get led away in a handcuff.
Yep. But he, he
So
said he said he
it's
put
three of y'all.
they put him on handcuffs. He said they all got put in handcuffs eventually.
Okay.
Say they said he didn't see it. All three of them had to sit in this wagon for like 30 minutes and shit, and then they drove him to the station. Another 40 minutes wait there, but they say they all together and all handcuffs. I said that's crazy.
The guy handled it though.
Yeah,
He was more than professional. And even when he got out, I know he was shook. Even when he got out, he was still, respectful. He's like, well, they didn't mistreat us. He was still cool about it.
yeah,
A lot better than I would have
yeah.
been.
I've been pretty pissed and probably making a big
Yeah,
deal out of it.
yeah. I would have got beat up. They'd have fucked me up.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
so
because I'm like, dude, I'm showing you all my ID. You see
yeah,
this fucking big ass camera. These these other two white dudes with me. What do you think we're doing? We think we're looting and then reporting our own shit. Come
yeah,
on, man, it's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's just crazy right now. It's scary, man. I'll tell my wife, the reason I wear my veteran hat so much because it makes people feel safe around
It
me,
does.
man. And it's a
It
shame
does.
that I gotta think that way, man.
Nah, there's no different. Look, on the back of my car, my daughter put swim dad sticker on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She was just doing it to be goofy. Right? But when I got the car back from her, I didn't take it off.
Yeah,
And I didn't take it off for that very reason. I'm gonna leave this shit on there. Cause I've been a police since 1994 to 2019. And those are the only motherfuckers I'm afraid of. Is the police. You know what I mean? Because I know how to deal with any other type of negative situation.
yeah.
You know,
That's crazy.
ain't no dude from the streets gonna scare me. Bitch, I'm from the street,
Yeah,
so that's not gonna terrify me. Whatever we do is what we do. But a motherfucker with a badge and a gun, that literally, in my mind, has a get out of jail free card. That shit is terrifying. Cause I don't know who the fuck I'm gonna meet. Just like he doesn't know how I'm gonna be when I get out the car.
yeah,
I don't know how he's gonna. Yeah, I left that fucking sticker on there just to make the motherfuckers feel safe if
yeah,
they
man.
ever
I do
come
too,
across.
man. I can go in the store or somewhere without that hat, man. I get looked at crazy. I'm crazy.
Yeah,
If I wear the hat though, nobody paying no attention. Everybody smiling at
yeah,
me, hello and shit. Like that's just crazy, man.
yeah.
So Saf, I know they over there protesting too, right? Are they doing any riding over there or just protesting?
What I can see is just protests. They're
Right.
just walking down the street chanting.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything other than that. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's almost like there needs to be sort of an attitude change when it comes to police enforcement. Um, I mean, here, there's more about winning hearts and minds, and talking things out and things like that, Um, and I think here it's as you say, they just go for the gun first. It's all about laying their hands and whatnot. And it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
is there not a more friendly approach that you can take?
It is.
Well, they have all
It
this
is.
other non-lethal stuff on them.
Yeah, but hold on, check this out. You talk about more friendly approach. There's a sheriff in Flint, Michigan, county sheriff. He came out and he talked to the people. He said, I'm taking my helmet off and put your batons down, and we're going to do whatever y'all need us to do. And the people start chanting, walk with us, walk with us. Shit. Fucking sheriff, deputies. they're walking with the protesters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See,
Nobody's tearing up shit. He taking
yeah.
selfies with them. Everybody's happy. He was like, man, I don't want y'all thinking that I'm with that. I represent that because we don't. You know, so it's for me. I think when they put that ego away
Mm,
and just look at it from a human perspective, it's
yeah.
real easy, man. Them people ain't coming out immediately with the intention. Not all of them. You know, you got the antagonistic ones, the distractors. But for the most part, people come because they're frustrated, but they're not trying to go to jail. They're not trying to get beat up by the police.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
I feel like too that, and I know it's hard to do this, but when they can, they should. Is that they need to start putting cops. Well, after they leave the academy, sending cops to where they're from. You can't send a cop from Missouri and put him in Harlem. You know what I mean? That doesn't work that
Yeah.
way because you go now. This guy who's from Kansas, so on a farm, see a group of black men who he never seen and where he's from, go get nervous.
yeah,
But he puts somebody who's from Harlem back in Harlem. They know, okay, I see a group of guys in the corner, black guys. They probably just hanging out. I'm not gonna get nervous. You approach them,
right,
talk to them real. You know, I'm not gonna be nervous about it. I know they look all right, and he's just gonna know.
yeah,
But I think it's a problem. They put these scared people in these bad areas that they're not used to being around, and they just so afraid and nervous, they freak out.
yeah. There's no more community policing.
Mm-mm.
There's no they've done away with that. Motherfuckers ride around in cars, they never get out. Hell, if
Yep.
they would just get out and go to the corner store,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and talk to the people. It's
Yep.
hard, man. It's hard to do something bad to somebody that you know,
Right.
and it's very difficult.
And you know who's who. You know Leroy's a crack dealer, but he
Right,
just smells small crack. He ain't hurt nobody.
right,
You know what I'm saying? You gonna know those
right,
things.
right.
This dude crazy, mentally crazy. May have a little more tougher time with him because I know he's crazy. The whole hood know he's crazy.
Yeah.
So you gonna know those
Listen,
things.
like when I used to do my side job at the skater, I knew the parents. Some parents would let their kids go. They were like, "Man, where's McQueen ain't in there? You can't go." I would have to come out, speak to the parents before they let the kid come skate. You know what I mean? 'Cause it was like, I'm not allowing you to come in there if there's anybody besides McQueen. And then it's just different, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of departments need to go back to that community aspect of things. You
Hmm.
know, get to know the people, even if it's in a bad situation, man. If you catch the dude doing something illegal and you caught him fair and square, there's not gonna be much
No.
going on.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be much. He got caught. Fuck, you caught me. But see, when you take it to depending on what the crime is, if it's something petty, stealing out the store or something, that's when you go back and check them. You know what I mean? Then that's when you get to know his parents. You know, especially the young ones, man. Between the age of 12 and 14 is a peak time. If you can catch them then, you can change their whole life.
Yeah.
Man. But they don't think that way. It's
Yeah.
all about the numbers, you know, and everybody afraid of each other. I'm afraid of the police. Police afraid of me. That ain't
Yeah.
nothing but a recipe for disaster.
Well, that's probably what they need to work on, right? I mean,
Hmm.
there's fear on both sides, by the
Yeah,
sounds of it.
it
I
is.
mean, wouldn't it be? And you know what? A lot of stereotypical stuff's been going on. You know, there's a lot
Yeah.
of history on both sides.
Hmm.
You know, people view, let's say they view, you know, the black community as quite a violent or can be very violent, and of
Right.
course, you know, and the police are being viewed as, you know, a violent entity unto themselves,
Right.
right? Who sometimes can go in excess, and I mean, how many times? I mean, this is okay for me. This is the second time I've seen, you know, a black suspect being apprehended by police and dying, you know,
Right.
while I think the other guy I saw, I can't remember his name now, but I know he was very big. And he was a huge guy, you know, overweight.
Yeah.
And I think they had him in a chokehold. I think that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That was Eric Garner.
Yeah, and that was very unfortunate, of course.
Yeah.
And now you've got this as well. But watching the footage of George, you can see that the cop who's got his knee in his neck is is experiencing some sort of power play here. I mean, you can see it.
Yeah.
He's saying to me, I told you and you didn't listen, and
Right.
it's like,
Right.
he's trying to show, and I get it. If you're a policeman, you're meant to have authority, and I get that. But with great responsibility with great power comes great responsibility, and he showed absolutely bugger all there.
Right.
I mean, the guy's incapacitated. He's handcuffed. He's on the ground. I mean, what more of a threat could he be?
Exactly.
And if he was in being so close to the road where he was, I mean, they could have just lifted him and moved him over to the pavement or the sidewalk, whatever you call it, or even put him back, but because, the cop was saying, well, we've tried for 10 minutes to get him into the car. It was like, well, then move him onto a pavement and have him up against the wall, sitting like you were before, but clearly he didn't, so he made that decision to keep his knee in the neck, and you see people shouting at him, saying, dude, he can't breathe, you're going to kill him if you carry on.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
But,
crazy.
man.
I think the fears from both sides need to be addressed, and I know this is something that obviously needs to happen on a national level, not necessarily just within Minneapolis, but this whole thing needs a complete overhaul,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it doesn't help when we have a president who's saying racist shit like once
That
the shooting
motherfucker said,
start.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
one thing he said. That's the old 1960 term by this old racist sheriff
Right.
said. And then when he started talking about he's gonna release the dogs on the protesters, and then he told Mega to go out there and protest too.
Yeah.
Dude, if Mega would have went out there and protest, it would have been a freaking blood slot, dude.
I tell you
That
what, them bitches let some dogs loose. All hell's gonna loose in this
yeah.
motherfucker.
See, if we got presidents saying shit like that. That just unbelievable to me, man.
Yeah.
That he would say the shit he say, dude. Like this dude cannot get reelected, man.
Yeah.
Like
Hey,
it's a
look, them girl
must.
over here tearing up shit, tearing up this lamp. Now she fixed it. My
Yeah.
bad.
It's almost like because the police do this, it then gives people an excuse to do that. I mean, do you remember the whole Black Lives Matter thing where they started to target cops and started to go and shoot cops? You have to almost say to yourself at the end of the day, where do you draw the line? Where do you say enough is enough from both
Yeah.
sides? Not just from one side. I'm like, at what point do you draw the line and be like, enough is enough? We
I
need to
think.
come together here.
No, I agree with that. And I think, unfortunately, we may be getting closer to that point. But the only way to get to that point is going to be a lot of violence, a lot of violence.
Yeah.
And people going to get tired of seeing other folks die, buildings getting burned down. It's going to take a lot. But I think this may be the tipping point. Because I
Yeah.
guarantee you, when them dudes come back and they don't get enough time in jail or any time at all, we're going to be right back to start.
Yeah. And I think that's why I said I think it's kind of a positive situation when you see all these young kids out there who are protesting, and all these white, black, Asian, all different races of people, and they're young who are
Mm-hmm.
doing this now. That's kind of a good sign for me.
Yeah, it
Have a
is.
little
They
more
just need to
hope
be guided.
that things could change in the future. There's always going to be somebody racist, but I think they'll always be greatly outnumbered
Right.
to the point where they'll be hidden and hiding and shit like that.
I just can't wait. I just can't wait for the day when people start referring to each other by name, and not necessarily by color.
Yeah.
When we don't talk about a black man in Minneapolis who got killed, we talk about George Floyd who lost his life.
Yeah.
Due to
No,
a
I understand. I
policeman
feel that for real. Yeah.
on a power trip. So
Yeah.
this is what I mean by changing the attitudes, changing the way you see things, because it's so easy to see the black and the white of it, and because that just stirs up old hatred, and it's and it really it starts to this is the type of hatred that's been taught I would imagine in the black community for generations, I would imagine in police forces, this is something that, dealing with violent people from violent areas, let's say, I don't know, maybe, let's say black people or Harlem or wherever, where it's pretty violent, and cops obviously know where the most violent areas are, and obviously perhaps react differently when they're in those areas, so on and so forth. So it's like, well, how do you break that down? How does the black man in Minneapolis become George Floyd? An honest American who wasn't perfect. Let's be honest, but he tried to use a fake note, got caught, and is being apprehended. How did he die? And it was a needless death. And again, it's as you say, based on fear. Obviously, this cop had to be use unnecessary force unnecessarily because, as you say, he was probably scared. So if we take away the fear, or we try and address that fear, and we try and say, okay, well, let's, I don't know how we're going to do it, but I'm just saying, if that was addressed, and let's say the cop didn't have any fear in him, example, and let's say George, when he saw the cops, didn't fear them, so if we try and tackle this from both sides, if there wasn't fear on both sides involved here, do we think this would have resulted in a fatality? And I'm willing to say that it wouldn't have, if that was the case.
But
So I think there's a
I don't feel like he was scared of him though, man.
No,
Because
not in this case. I don't. I really
because
don't.
no
he
scared.
never drew his gun. He never like looked panicked. He never
Yeah,
seemed like he was really breaking a
no, I
sweat.
agree with that.
I mean,
I think in many other cases, I'm sorry, in many other cases, people are doing it out of fear. But this one touched me to the point where this dude looks so evil. It's just like he just didn't give any fucks about this guy's life. George tried to move
yeah,
his neck, and you could see him like putting more pressure on.
yeah,
That's the shit
readjusting
that
his knee.
fucked me
Yeah,
up.
Yeah. See, I picture this as being like they knew each other at work to the point where something happened at work. Something was said at work with each other. Either he dissed him being a cop, or he dissed him just being a security guard. Some shit like that happened, I think, at
Mm-hmm.
work. And I think in some way they saw each other, they knew each other, but they probably didn't really like each other.
Yeah,
And I think
probably
this
George was saying that shit that the owner was talking about.
may
Him
be, and
being
then
afraid to die for.
this gave this cop opportunity to take advantage of this moment and show him who's the boss,
Yeah.
and took it way too far.
yeah. But the way I see it, I mean that could be true. That could be
Mm-hmm.
true. But the way I see it is that, if he hadn't have feared black men in general, let's say, why has he taken such uh, almost pleasure in a way to
Oh,
exert
I
pain,
understand what you're saying.
to exert pain. Do you see where I'm coming from?
I
So
know.
I'm saying
Yeah.
the basis would have been fear, but because
Correct.
he was
Yeah.
handcuffed and he
Yeah.
was vulnerable,
No, I dig it.
uh,
I dig it.
he then got that ego trip, and that I think fuels the ego,
Right.
Yeah,
because now you get confident now you know that there's nothing he can do to
Mm-hmm.
you. So what are you going to do to him? Well, you're going
Right.
to dominate him. And I think
right.
for anyone who tries to dominate anybody in a vulnerable position, it says a lot about the person exerting that dominance, I have to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
understand what you're
yeah. I
saying, man.
get you. I get you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's not like with Castillo, the guy that got shot in the car. That's a different type of fear. He was for, oh God, this black guy said he has a gun, and I pull out my gun.
Yeah,
Yeah, but what you're saying, yeah, I dig what you're saying.
yeah,
It was definitely rooted in fear.
yeah. It
So
was
now
rooted in
it's saying,
fear, and which
yeah.
resulted in a power play,
Mm-hmm.
and that is, again, if we were to just address those core issues, and try and bring society together with the police and so on and so forth. Because I mean, as you can see from the protesters, they are young, and that worries me. And I tell you why it worries me, is because these young people are having to protest. So don't forget, young people are impressionable, right? So they've been rallied to do this in some way, shape, or form. So that's the first thing. Second thing, because they're so young, this is the impression they're getting, right? Wouldn't you want to give younger people a better impression
Mm-hmm.
You know, wouldn't you want them to protest something that, you know, or at least support something that was more positive in the community?
Yeah.
When you, I can understand middle-aged and older people walking out there, you know, in anger. I get that because they've been through it, right? They've had their own life stories, and they perhaps have known someone who's had this happen to them or something similar, or maybe they've experienced it, or maybe a family member. You know, I can understand that. But these young people, what do they know?
Well,
First of all, and second of all, you know, and people are involving them, especially these syndicates who are trying to turn this thing violent, are using young people as their shields. I mean, what?
mhm.
You know, so that's where I see it as being a negative. You know, what I would like, I mean, what I have seen is there are young folk who are helping to clean up all of the damaged buildings. You know, they're sweeping, helping to sweep up the rubble. You know, they're trying to do what they can to sort of, in their, I suppose, in a way, rebuild, but not rebuild, but kind of like try and clean up the mess. You know that's happened there,
Yeah.
and this is what I feel sorry for the most, is the communities. These buildings, these businesses that are being destroyed, these buildings that are being destroyed, you know, these are people's communities, these are people's homes. This is where
Yeah.
they live. This is where they go and shop. This is where they live. And these people coming in, I don't know if they're local or not, because I suppose there's a question around that. But they just, you know, destroying. Why? What's the point of destroying? I saw a little dental practice getting burnt. What did that dental practice ever do? It's a furniture store. What did that furniture store do to get firebombed? You know,
Yeah.
I just think that, you know, again, it's mob mentality, but mob mentality turns stupid like that when you've got a few people in there directing them to do X and Y, or, you know, throwing a petrol bomb and everyone getting excited, and sort of that mob mentality kind of forms, and everybody just rushes and loots and does whatever. You know, you just need one person to do it. As soon as one person does it, everyone's going to pick up a brick and do it. It's like, and this is the nature of mob mentality, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
but the biggest thing is if we can stop police killing unarmed black men, we'd never have to talk about another riot ever.
Right, because remember the ride didn't start until that happened. So that,
mm,
but well, I thought we were saying earlier about the people they was arresting and the people that
Yeah.
they're saying breaking anything are people from out of state, not even from the area. And
you
what they're
see,
doing
so
is, like I said before earlier, what they're doing is they'll go run ahead of the protesters, go ahead of them, break a few windows, start a fire, then run back behind the protesters and use protesters as shields. Now,
yeah,
once the
yeah,
protesters get up there and see something already broken, then a few people gonna jump in and finish the work. That's how,
Mhm.
and they feel like that's what's going on. So that's why they have the
yeah,
curfew out now. They're doing curfews so that they feel like with a curfew, the good protesters will leave by 6 o'clock p.m. and the ones that want to cause the damage and stuff will stay out there. They're trying to
right.
separate good from the bad. So that's the purpose of the curfews right now. And it's
Mm.
kind of working. Everybody arresting seem to be either from out of the state or they with some kind of organization or
Yeah.
something like that.
I'm a little disappointed in the police in
Hmm.
Indianapolis because they definitely didn't handle it properly to
The first,
start with.
yeah, first night, yeah, or
Yeah.
second night, yep,
And, I don't obviously they don't have any plans in place for it. I don't know if they should or not, but basic policing to me, they engage more than they should have. You know what I mean? For me, I would never put my hands on anybody, period. But I'm definitely not going to put my hands on anybody that I know for a fact it's going to be a long day for me. You know what I mean? If
yeah,
I'm not going to somebody big as George Floyd, I'm not. Man, I don't care how much I worked out, how strong I think I am. I'm not going to be touching the dude that's 6'5".
yeah,
So
I,
my whole approach is going to be different when I engage them.
yeah. I think,
So to
man,
me,
go ahead.
I just see a lot of these officers putting themselves in unnecessary positions,
Yeah,
quick to grab somebody and force them to comply. Man, you don't have. If you talk to anybody, calm them down first,
hmm,
explain why you here, what you need from. Not I don't my 20 years. I may have to put my hands on a person once or twice, and that was the young dude. I later found out had some mental issues. That didn't take their medicine.
yeah.
Past that, man, I de-escalate, talk, and man, motherfuckers turn around, put their hands on their back. You right. You right, McQueen. Calm down. Because the shit ain't working, you know? My whole thing is like, man, we both go home. I don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to get hurt. No bullshit we talking about right now, you know? But you gotta come. And you want to be in control, do some real good shit. Do some real slick shit. And get this motherfucker from screaming to compliance. Or just talking. To me, that was all the best thing that I could ever do. I could easily put my gun out, pepper spray, or tase you. That don't take no skill. You know what I mean? But for me to talk to you, make you realize what you did was wrong, that I'm only here to do my job, to me, that was skillful. And I took pleasure in that. But I don't think there's that type of stuff has been handed down anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nobody really like training these guys.
Yeah. So I'm watching CNN right now, and people are still
Mm-hmm.
protesting today. It's the sixth day right now.
Yeah.
So if you're out there protesting, go ahead and protest, do your thing, but don't let people tear down your neighborhoods because
Nah,
what
man.
happens is that these small businesses can't come back. Who you think gonna buy that lot?
Right.
Some rich person gonna come and buy that lot. The next thing you know, it's gonna change.
Yeah, it's gonna change. The whole
So
neighborhood's gonna
don't lose
change.
your
Everything.
hood. And then if you broke it, go fix it. So if you're one of the
Yeah.
people last night that's out there throwing bricks through windows and burning all your neighborhood stores, go back out there right now, get a broom, and go help clean that shit up.
Right.
Yeah.
All right? Go help clean it up. At least you can do.
Yeah. You got to pass the first couple of days being angry,
Yeah.
upset. Now you're just being a dickhead. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you can go, everybody understand you upset. Everybody got the message now. So if you really want to terrify them motherfuckers, comply. Walk through the street, do your little chants, and go on the fuck home. They're gonna spend the whole night doing like, but they're not gonna break nothing. They're not gonna burn nothing. That's more terrifying than anything. Give them something that they don't expect.
Well, and there's other ways to focus your anger.
Mm-hmm.
There's other ways to focus your anger. You don't necessarily have to go and burn something down. I mean,
Oh, you
that's
don't
just
have to at all.
I was thinking, I'm thinking out loud, spitballing here, but if I, if I was, that happened in my community and I knew George or it was in my city or whatever, and I felt like I wanted to do something about it. Wouldn't you want to go and help the prosecution, right? And make sure that these cops are, have a higher sentence and whatnot. Isn't there a way you can lobby that, or at least try and, see what you can do as a community to try and assist and, getting more footage or camera angles or anything like that that you can help to support the case and,
Mm-hmm.
and
No,
make
yeah,
it
yeah.
stick,
I
I
think that's
mean,
the
that,
frustrating part, though, South, for the whole. That's
Mm-hmm.
why, because they have all that already. They have all the angles, everything, all the video, and they still took days even for them to arrest the protest had to happen for them to arrest him. They
right.
had like 2 days to arrest this guy. They didn't do it until the first protest.
Mm-hmm.
Then they
Right.
arrested one guy. The other three still out there. They fired, but they're not arrested yet.
Right.
And so these protesters saying, "Hey, okay, you got one, but we want all four."
Yeah,
Because
they should be accessories to the fact because, I
right,
mean, they were there. They could have done something about it, but they didn't,
it was three people who
right?
had knees on him. One had knee on his neck, the other two had knees on his
Yeah.
back and legs, and the
Yeah.
fourth guy was standing there looking.
Yeah, well,
Mm-hmm.
as I say, they could have done something, so they should be an accessory, to be honest. Because if you look at it from a criminal's point of view, if you commit a criminal act and someone either assists you or is there while you're doing it, you're
Your
considered
ass
an
in trouble too.
accessory.
Yeah,
So
Mm-hmm.
why, if you're going to apply that rule to criminals, well, then that rule should be applied to those who uphold the law. In fact, those who uphold the law should be held to a higher
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
standard.
yeah. And this not a
Yeah,
black.
that's why I blame them. The police, the DA. I blame them for a lot of this violence
Yeah,
because
and
they
it's
had enough right off the
sorry. Yeah.
smart thinking. I got this shit on video. I had all these
Mm,
different angles. You wasn't taught that in the academy. What you did was illegal. I watched you press this dude's neck for 9 minutes. I don't need nothing else. I'm gonna arrest everybody right
yes,
fucking now. Because if there were
exactly.
civilians, I could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've done it
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've done. All I needed was probable cause. That's the easiest fucking thing in the world to get, right? So if you want to cut off all this bullshit, do what you know you can legally do. Why are you worrying about doing something wrong to them when you already have enough evidence to legally do it? You know, my whole thing for 20-something years is always, you may beat the rap, you may beat the case, but you will not beat the ride. If I have enough to take your ass to jail, you're gonna go to fucking jail.
Yeah. No,
So,
I think they should have arrested all of those cops. I think
Yeah.
all of those
Yeah.
cops should be facing, because until the law comes down heavily on cops, in that respect, that you know, if we were to turn the situation around and say this was a criminal act by a member of the public, you know, and let's say there were 3 of them involved, would you just arrest the first one who actually committed the act, or would you, you know? So, and if that is the case, then why aren't the cops being held to the same or even higher standard? And,
Right.
and until the law comes down on them more severely, that could be a good step in the right direction, at least from, you know, the point of view of the cops, that they would have to think twice. They would have to make sure that they are doing everything by the book, because they know if they mess up, they could find themselves on the wrong end of the law, right? And I think that could go some ways to help rectify the situation. I think, you know, at least for any future instances that you know, where this happens, you know.
yeah. And people try to make this a race thing. It's not a race thing. It's not black and white, right? And because the other 2 guys, I believe, was black. The other one, I don't know what he was, but and even though
Yeah, but
the 2 black cops, all of them need to go to jail.
yeah,
All of them.
yeah, but the thing is, this is what the
This is a
media is
cop
going to
versus.
do. This
This
is
is
what the
cop
media is
versus.
going to
Yeah.
do. This is what this is. Now, this is the fault of the media, and I almost have to say that, you know, the media at some point needs to start taking accountability for what they, you know, how they phrase things and how they write things, because, you know, the fact that you see Black Lives Matter um, uh, logos and whatnot flying, you know, in these protests is because they're trying to turn it into a race thing, right? And this is one thing that needs to be addressed before, you know, any side can move forward. Is that there are other factors at play here. One being the media, one being whoever's trucking these people in from different states and whatnot to try and, you know, aggravate the situation. There seems to be an underlying current, some other society or interest group or whatever who's trying to turn this, you know, nasty and violent, and I think and making it a racial thing, and I think, you know, if anyone sees an oppressor being one color and a victim being another, that's like an automatic assumption, you know. And I think, you know, we need to go, at some point we need to sort of clear the mist, as it were, and try and make it as transparent as, hey, this is Sergeant so and so, and this is, you know, George Floyd, and this is the situation, you know. And then
Yeah. Well, I
people
think.
shouldn't have to ask, well, was one black, was one white? Is that a big deal, you know?
Well, the whole Black Lives Matter thing is more.
Yeah. It's a different thing, man.
It's different because
Yeah.
what they're trying to communicate is police or people in authority, whatever, don't value life of a black person.
Yeah. It's
That could
something different.
that police could be he could be black himself. He could be Chinese. It doesn't make a difference. It's that institution of the police department that doesn't value my life.
Mm, mm,
That's what we're talking about. Because that's what makes me. I don't fuck if the cop walks up to my car black. I'm afraid because I
yeah.
don't know how he views me. You
Mm,
know what I mean?
mm,
I don't know if he's
mm.
gonna think I'm an act up. He's gonna have
Yeah,
to tase or shoot me
yeah,
because
but Black Lives Matter as an institution has not had the best track record of upholding those values that you've just expressed, right? I
oh they
mean,
have, but they're not gonna show you. They're gonna show. They're gonna lump those people that's out there spray painting Black Lives Matter that not even black. They're gonna tell you the people that's busting out the windows and starting the fires are part of the Black Lives Matter. That's what they're trying to do. They're gonna discredit that movement with these distractors. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
So
It just
when you,
becomes
cause
very murky. It just
yeah,
becomes very
that's
muddy.
the
The
intent,
waters are being muddied to a point where you don't even know where left and right is at this
right?
point. You
But
know.
that's the intent. They're not gonna tell you that this movement is responsible for achieving anything great. All they're gonna tell you when Black Lives Matter comes, burn shit. When it's clearly established that in these recent riots, that ain't even black people that are doing the shit. You know what I mean? So that's what changed, and I like the fact that they're starting to police themselves instead of just going out there. They're addressing these folks to come in there to start shit. It's
Yeah.
like you're fucking up what we're trying to do. We didn't come here for that.
Well, then I think the media needs to start, broadcasting that more and more because,
But
We
see,
got
know,
to make
see,
them motherfuckers ain't gonna do it on their own.
CNN kept it real. CNN said
Yeah,
when Don Lemon was talking, Don Lemon kept it real. He said, "Yeah, we know all that, but we're gonna show you the fires. We're gonna show you the car getting blown up. That's what
yeah,
we're gonna show you. We're gonna show you the dramatics, and that's real talk.
yeah.
That's what they do. They go for those shots instead.
Because the thing is, man, we don't here in America. We don't have any true. Well, NPR is pretty true, but that's for everybody.
Spanish news.
Yeah, that's probably the only one that's neutral.
Ooh,
You know
woo.
what I mean?
I can't
You
watch
know,
that shit, dude. God damn.
Fox, Fox will tell you everything is fine. Ain't nothing. It's the Democrats' fault. CNN gonna do everything. It's gonna scare the shit out you 24/7. So me, I look at it. The state that we're in is somewhere in between Fox News and CNN.
oh man,
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It ain't as bad as CNN tell you. Damn sure ain't as rosy
this
peachy as Fox.
whole this whole two-party system, I wouldn't be surprised if people were to look at our society 100 years from now and go, it was the fact that they had two major party political systems that actually
Right.
caused a divide in the country in the
It
first
is.
place, right?
Yeah.
And if they just got rid of that politics, life would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
think about it.
It's
And
my
no, it's
opinion.
true. Think about this. How can if you look at the Democrat and Republican, and you got one country, two parties, basically. There's no way in the hell you're going to tell me that one side has the plan versus the other side. That doesn't even make sense. No, one man is not going to have all the answers to a problem. The collaborative effort to meet in the middle, and now we're good. Because you got to think any bill that's passed in the states that's lasted and nobody had a problem with has always been bipartisan. When they put that bullshit to the side and let's do the thing. We compromise on this, you compromise on that, and we'll give the American people what they truly need. Not one man's going to have all. So if you get a group of men with the same thought, how in the fuck are you going to come up with something good for everybody? There's no way. But
Yeah,
if you put,
I don't think one's better than the other.
it
This is
can't
the
be.
problem.
Yeah, it can't be better than. That doesn't even make any sense. You know what I mean? If you sit down like, okay, we're gonna do some serious negotiating, not playing the typical politics. I need to win more than you win. I'm so sick of that shit. I'm so
Yeah.
tired of hearing that. We're winning. We're winning. What the fuck are we winning?
Well, it sounds quite selfish, doesn't it? They're just looking
Yeah.
after their own interests. They're not really interested in the interests of people. They know they have to make it look like and they have to do stuff to, just so they can get the votes in. But apart from that, I bet you they don't really give a shit either way. I don't think either side does. Do you see what
No.
I'm saying?
Hell no.
I wish we had a political system where you had okay, fine. If you want to have two sides, have two sides. But when they come together on policy, when they come together on anything, it has to be a joint decision.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides have to agree, And if it takes, 5 days to get
Yeah.
something through, then it takes
Yeah.
5 days to get it through,
Y'all
And
ain't coming outside until y'all agree.
yeah, exactly. And that goes the same for when you want to start wars, when you want to set up, trade agreements with this country or that country, or whether or
Mm-hmm.
not you want this company on 5G or not, or what you know what I mean. I think
Mm-hmm.
if the power was shared, there wouldn't be the snatch and grab attitude. You know, because right now it's either one party or the other, and then the other one's always trying to up the other one and finding all this dirt on them and this and that and trying to discredit them, and then then the next election it's the other way around, and then and all this mudslinging is going on. It's like this is not helping anyone. In fact, it's not even helping the people who you're meant to be representing. In fact, it's doing the complete opposite. So I wish they had it where they didn't have just one president. It was a union of two people that had to sit in the White House, and because that way they can always check each other.
Yeah.
Like if the head of the Democrats said, well, I want to, I don't know, I want to put a tax on, I don't know, whatever. And the other side would be like, well, you can't do that because, and then they would have come out and go, well, you know what? Having the tax is probably a bad idea, and then they both agree, and then that goes away. The problem is right now is that everything goes unchecked. It's just it's a one-sided thing,
Yep. It's a power grab. Everybody wants to be in control.
Yeah. If it was a shared thing, then there wouldn't be a power grab.
Right.
And
I think the term limits, all that kind of shit have changed. Man. But
see, leave it up to us to solve the world's problems. You see?
we always do.
I hope it
Every
don't
fucking
change.
Sunday.
I don't want no king.
No.
We don't want no king.
No.
Can you imagine
No.
Trump being king, dude? He'd be there for 20 years. So
Yeah.
we all had gray hairs.
Yeah, that's just for show anyway. Nobody listen to that.
But all right, man. So any final words?
Nah, just be safe. Make your voice
Just-
heard, but be safe.
Just treat your fellow man the way you would like to be treated, right?
Yeah.
It's simple,
really simple.
and short and to the point.
Yeah. Our condolences go out to the George Floyd's family. We're sorry for your loss. I hope all four will
Absolutely.
get arrested, do max
Yeah.
time. Keep protesting. Stop the looters. Don't let them tear up your hood.
Yeah,
If you broke it, go
They-
fix it.
yeah, because they're listening now. I know you got to get a little rowdy to get their attention, but we got their attention now, so let's not fuck it up. We got
Yeah,
their
let's-
attention, so calm down, be peaceful, and articulate your thoughts and your feelings.
Yeah, let's not add to the problem. Let's
Nah.
add to the solution,
Got-
right?
Now we got their attention now, so we're good.
Yeah. All right, take us home, Kelso.
All right. If you made it this far, I'm going to take it that you enjoyed the show. So, what we would like for you to do, wherever you listen to our podcast, find us, subscribe, and make us your favorite. So, then, until the next episode, love hard, live happy, forgive quickly. Peace.
I'm gonna
Peace, y'all.
set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher.